Hello, 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 my darlings. Well, it's Friday, December the 1st. It's feeling a lot like Christmas. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy you joined me. If you're 65 and older, this is the spot. But you know what? I have some youngins that listen because we have something to say. Maybe the 45-year-olds are getting ready. They like, get ready, get ready, get ready. Well, once again, Tamron Hall and I on the same page. Oh yes, her show today, December the 3rd. It's December the 1st. She had 2023 rather. She had the old gays on. I think that's the name of a group of people. But the fact that OLD was in the name, not the gay part, but old gays, and that they were older, and they just now becoming what you call it stars on the internet. And I'm thinking, okay, they made a decision to jump back in life, and they got together and started doing these things, and now they're stars on the internet. Now I'm not saying that's what you need to be, a star on the internet. What I'm trying to say, which I've said over and over again, when you are 65 and older, you still need to live. You have 20, let me take off my glasses and make sure you're clear. You have 20 more years on this earth, 65 and older. So what are you going to do for those 20 years? What are you going to do? Don't you like this? I brought you this summer when it was hot. Look at this. This came from Madam Butterfly, TOO, Constance Booth. We both are adjunct professors at Clark Atlanta University. But she has a clothing store. I just love it, love it, love it. Anyway, when you're 65 and older, my thing to say to you is to live. That's what they talked about, LIVE, living, not dying. You know, our base book, our book for this class is Super Aging. Because we super age, we don't default age. And what do you mean by that, Georgianne? Well, if you've been watching my show, you know what I mean. Default aging is you go sit by the coffin at 65 and wait to get in it. Super aging, you start your new life, a new plan, a new everything. And so one of the things I have not done, and I want to make sure that I do, and that is bring some scripture in and bring some God in and make sure you know where I'm coming from with all of this. One of the things I heard last night, which is my favorite scripture, and I had to get me a number because my daughter, Reverend Evelyn Sanders Swafford, she knows all this. Mama doesn't know, but Mama likes it. And it says, be still and know I am God. When you sit still, the messages come to you. That message at 65 has come to you what to do with your life. The message probably came to you in your 30s. You know, I gave you all an exercise on purpose. But when I was reading, and I think I listened to R.C. Blake's, I love Bishop R.C. Blake's. He's on YouTube also. And R.C. Blake said that you know your purpose, that you asked to come here, you know your purpose, but you're not listening and you don't want to hear it. You don't want to walk in that purpose because it doesn't fit what everybody else thinks about you. Well, I've been there, done that, you all. And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to miss out on what you're supposed to do. We talked about purpose. We talked about it. But, you know, I think that you just be still and know that I am God. Just be still. A lot of times I do, as much as I talk, as much conversation. I was a cheerleader, all that growing up, all in the limelight. I love to sing. All that limelight. I'm a loner. I am. I know how to be still. I know how to be by myself. Maybe because I was the only child for 10 years. And so I know how to sit still and just be still. And so one of the things I talked about having on today was, I think it's Psalms 46:10, be still and know that I am God. And then the other thing is we walk by faith and not by sight. So when you know that you're supposed to do something different, and I think the LY need to be on there, and you don't do it because you think it's the wrong thing to do. But how many times you've gone on and said, I'm going to do it, and how God has sent you everything you needed to get it done, and you didn't know how you were going to do that. This is hot now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But anyway, you know, sometimes you have to say, wow, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I hear the voice. I hear the voice. So 65 and older, you got time now to listen to that voice. You don't have a time clock. You don't have to go anywhere. You're retired. You know, you can hear what you didn't hear before. All you heard was D D D D D. I'm sorry about this. I like wearing my nice piece of jade, but it makes that sound, so I apologize. But I want to wear it today because when I get through with you all, I'm going somewhere and I want to have this on. I guess I could take it off, but I don't feel like doing all that. Sorry. Anyway, when we talk about walking by faith and not by sight, I had to listen when I was very sick in the bed. This last cancer, 3 cancers, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this last cancer was all faith because I could not see my way out of that one. I couldn't see how I could be sitting here today. There's no way in the world I could have told you that I would be sitting here today on my 200 plus show, having 9 songs on Amazon Music. Only God. Only God. And so you have to walk by faith and not by sight. You have to be still and know that He is God. And then the other thing is that there's a place in the Bible that talks about the lilies of the field. Anyway, be anxious about nothing. See, you know, I want you all to go ahead and say, I am. You know that list you made, 65? Ask you to do a list. I am this, I am that, I am. Because you need to know yourself and love yourself. And if you don't know yourself and love yourself, how are you going to get anything else out there in the world? So I made you make a list and introduce yourself to yourself. Hey, Georgianne, if you don't love yourself, it's a problem. You got a problem. You need to love every little bit. You know, I told you now, I confess. I confess how disappointed I am with the hair under here. Because I had beautiful, beautiful, thick, gray hair. I loved it. Love my own hair. And I'm disappointed. But I made a shift change. I like this. Okay? I'm disappointed that I can't do anything about this space. That God is just, time is wearing on it. I'm disappointed. But guess what? It's all I got. I could be somewhere else. I'm disappointed with my teeth, especially with the one I had up here. The cap came off, so I have to go to the dentist next. I don't have an appointment till next week. And so I want to smile. I had a beautiful smile at one time, but now I have to smile like this. I'm disappointed. But so what? It could be, I got teeth. Some kind. I can see. I'm alive. God gave me today, December 1st, Nalea's birthday. Happy birthday, Nalea. So we have to stop and just ground ourselves or center ourselves so that we can do what I'm asking and talking to you about. We got to have some kind of foundation, a foundation. So one of the things they talk. So let me just talk about. Before I go that, let me just talk about. Last week I spoke about in this book they talked about the blue zones. And what page is that? Did I give you a page for the blue zone? If you have the book, you could find out about the blue zones. And when I talked about the blue zones, those are areas. The blue zones. Let me see what page this is. 67. It talks about the blue zones, and those are places all over the world. All over the world. They're from Sardinia to Okinawa. I know better than that. Japan, and these places, in all these 5 places, 5 places in the blue zones. These people live to be 100 years old, and so the study was, how come they live to be 100 years old? Why? What did they have in common? And one of the behavior denominators that all of them had in common was that they move naturally. That's still on page 67. They don't use modern technology a lot to help them. They just do what they need to do. If they have to sweep, they don't use the little robot thing. You know, if they have to go do something, they physically do things. So I think it's a physically moving to do things. You know, like I asked the lady to go get me something, and I should really go get it myself. You know, because I physically moving around is better for me. You know how you ask your kids, go get me that? Well, don't ask anybody. We really should do it ourselves. And I'm going to be more mindful of just, well, when I'm around here by myself, I have to go get it. So I need to just start getting things myself. And then they said, so that's one thing that was a common denominator. They live to be 100 years old. Now you say, well, I don't want to live to be 100 years old. Okay, well, pick your year and die. But if you want to live till you die, which is what I'm saying, live until you die. Not live to die, but live until you die. You see, it's a difference. And what about having a purpose? I talked to you about having a purpose. Be still and know that I'm God. Don't be anxious about anything. You know, just make up your mind. That's what the people, the old gay, I point in there like, you know, that's what a TB is. Jordan. Tamron show. Anyway, Tamron Hall show today. I mean, they were all clearly older, and clearly they didn't mind it. Who minds being older? I think I'm the only one that minded because I just hate to see it fade. But you know, you have to. What else you gonna do? So, and then I feel like this is my purpose is to. I have had several purposes. That's such a word, yes. But this is one of them. I could say that. To be here is lethargic. I mean, not lethargic. Yeah, it helps me. It helps me with working out my own issues. When I can talk to you about my issues, and then when I talk it out, I feel better about it. And then there's somebody out there that got the same issues as that I have. I know that because we're humans. We're human first. If we could get to that, I don't want to get into the race thing because you all know how I feel. But I just wish we could be human beings and not racially divided like we are. I don't know. But anyway, another thing they talked about was remembering to downshift, which they used the word downshift. So it's translated into taking a nap, praying, talking to the ancestors. Do you talk? I do. I see. You know, people might think you're crazy. I'll say, my daughter told me one time I walked in the house and said, "Hello, everybody." I don't even remember saying that until she told me. I had no concept of walking in a house saying, "Hello, everybody." But once I said it, which was spiritually pushed out of my mouth, I say it now. I go in the yard, look up at the trees, look at the dirt. I talk to the ancestors. I ask for help. If a bird goes by, I know it's a sign, depending on the bird, what the sign is. I know back to nature's what we don't understand. All the answers are right here for us. But we don't know how to look for them anymore because we've been bombarded with all the AI information and TV and technology that we have missed some basics. And those bases include, you know, reaching the spiritual base. We're human beings, but we have a human body, but this is a spiritual world, and then our human body will fade away, and we'll go to the spirit world. And so remember the downshift. Okay, they also talked about the 80% rule. I think I talked about that a little bit. 65 and older, you want to live to 100, 80% rule. When you eat, only eat 80% of your, if you full of the food, 80%, only get full up to 80%. And at night, don't eat all that, Georgianne. Don't look for ice cream, Georgianne. Don't look for desserts, Georgianne. Okay? That's the afternoon and evening should be light. Your biggest meal is the middle of the day. When I was in France, I think we ate a big lunch. And then we had something small for dinner. A salad was always the last thing to eat. And, you know, they had a breakfast in the morning, a goûter in the afternoon, and maybe then a food. but you didn't have all that food in the evening. So they're saying that the people in the blue zone, what was consistent, so for one was moving naturally, two was having a purpose, and three was downshifting, and four was the 80% rule. Another was they had a largely plant-based diet. Slutty vegan. She knew, didn't she? My mother told me when I was a little girl that I didn't eat meat. I never liked meat. So I came in the world not liking meat. That's an acquired taste now. I need to go back to it, especially plant-based food. And the way things are going in this world, we just need to, I'm not talking against the meat because I'm a steak. I still haven't been to Ruth Chris. Ruth Chris. Maybe I went there once. I like to go again. But I used to love Houston's steaks. Oh my God. And Chick-fil-A back in the day, down at the Dwarf House, they had the best steak ever. They took that off the menu. Yes, Chick-fil-A had steak at the Dwarf House. So you all know anything about that? Okay, here go with the noises again. All right, and so here's the other thing. But that's what you want to know, what was consistent in the blue zones where the people lived to be 100. They basically had plant-based food, but they ate meat. I think they said, let me see how many times. They said they ate meat. They did. Maybe 5 times a month. Well, 5 times a month to me would be once a week. Have a big old steak once a week. I'll be happy with that. I would. But plant-based the rest of the week works for me. What else did they talk about? Oh, they drank a moderate amount of alcohol. I'm trying to figure out how no Crown Royal. Well, they had Crown Royal maybe, but not every day. And whatever else. Ciroc or all the others. A beer. They didn't do it every day. They had it on a moderate level. These are the consistent things that happen with these blue zones. And then they were part of a faith-based community. I think I talked to you yesterday. If you go out to whatever your faith base is and volunteer, please go and volunteer and give your time to some group. There's some boys and girls that need you. There's some seniors that need you. There's some 45-year-olds that need you. They need to hear, especially if they didn't have a mom and dad, or the mom and dad is gone, they're suffering, or they never had a grandmother, they never saw their grandmother. You know, just so many things, so many reasons you could do. If you have money, extra money, figure out how to give that money to somebody that needs it. Of course, I love coming to America. I wanted to be the one with that big old bag of the McDonald's money. I'd love to have that. That was great. But we can give something. I'm just saying give. It's 2 things, I think, that keep you on this earth. I don't see it on the list, but I think part of what they're saying, undercurrent might be, is giving and being kind. One of the things that they talked about on Tamron's show today that helps with longevity is being kind and being forgiving. I've had to learn to forgive lots of people that I love that just, but learn that part. Learn to forgive, learn to give, learn to be kind. All of those things help you with longevity. And I think there's a couple of things, is they focus on their families. They stayed with the person they were married to. I don't know. I can't speak to that because I did not. So I don't know what that means to stay with somebody. I don't know. I would like my last quarter to be with someone that I really, really, really would be happy with that person. But I don't see that happening. And so, for your last quarter, we all in our last quarter. The 65-year-olds, you still at the coin. The 70-year-olds, you finally made it to the field. The 75-year-olds, you starting down in your last quarter. All right? You just on number 1, whatever they call that, first down. All right? But I'm saying that to say that they focus on their families. They focus on the person they love, that person. I'm just talking about what happened in the blue zones. They basically was with that one person, and also they love their families. If you get your family together, that's basically all you need. You do need to have some friends, maybe, but if you don't have family, make friends family, and then make friends and family all one if you can. I'm just having difficulties trying to pull all of us together, the family and the friends, because everybody's busy. And, I'm the older one, so everyone is busy doing what younger people do. And so I can't blame them for that. At some point, they'll get to me. They'll get around to me, and I hope it's not at the casket time. And then the last thing they talked about was maintaining social contact. And I know sometimes you feel like you're isolated, but call that person that you've been trying to find. There's somebody that you wish you could talk with or speak with or see. Why don't you search them out? Why don't you go find them? Go find that person that you said, oh, I wish I could talk to, or find out if they're still alive. People say, oh, I didn't know he was still alive. Somebody might be looking for you. They don't know you still alive. How about that? They don't know you still alive. When the last time you've been back to your high school reunion? I don't go to reunion. Why not? You had fun in high school. You did have fun in high school, then go back and show them you still here. Or some of those people that did something to you may not even be on the earth anymore. Go back to the high school reunion. Go back to the college reunion. Go over to the old church. Go to the old store. Walk around. Did you ever go anywhere where the house was so big and then you went back as an adult and you could hardly get in there? It was so small. It's just amazing. It's all through the lens. It's all through your lens now, because your lens changed. And I'm trying to get you some new lens. You know how I used to get the color eyes? Like I wanted my eyes to be lighter. They look all right. I don't have any problem with how my eyes look, but I wanted me some. I was trying to have a new look, a new Georgian. People want to understand if I got some light. I want a lighter brown to put up. You see them now. Then stick a lighter brown in them. I don't know now. I might talk myself into it, but I'm trying. I digress. I'm saying new lens for you. New lens for you. I want you to look at life differently. It's time for the weekend. What are you going to do this weekend? And what have you done all week? Did you sit down and write down the things I asked you to do? I wanted to go back over the blue zone so I can at least talk to you and remind you of what helps you get to 100, which may help somewhere in there, may help you get to 66, 67, 76, 72, 82. You got to look at life as a great journey. It's a journey. You remember when you were born, you saw the picture I showed you yesterday. I apologize to that girl. That's that girl in high school, because it was my first year of Spelman, because I didn't treat her right over the years. And I've had to apologize to her because she deserves some better treatment, you see. And so when you get to a certain age, you got to say, I got to do better about me, so you can put my child, my dog, my house, my life, me, mine. You got to do better. And can anybody tell you how to do that? You have to, you know what it takes to do better. You know what you need to do. I know what Georgianne needed to do. Last night I had an epiphany about including in my discussions more verse with places where you can go and see. I don't know it like that, but I read something every day. So sometimes in my reading of the Bible verses, I'll bring you a verse. When I heard this one, I got that from R.C. Blakes when he said that last night. I was listening to him, and he said, be still and know that I'm God. That's my favorite. That's my favorite thing to do. And just like you have Georgianne in the Slice of Life, there are a number of people on this platform that can just help you and usher you and give you something else to to think about. I'm hoping I give you something to think about. I hope that a slice of life has helped you. I don't get any comments, but every now and then I get a comment. Could you comment? Could you subscribe? And could you share? Could you tell other people that I'm here? That my job, that I think my appointment is to help promote you 65 and older to a point where you know you have 10 more years minimum. You have 20 in actuality, and you got some more after that. You got whatever God got for you, but you should make a plan to do something. And I talked to the people who I'm glad. Hello, United Kingdom. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Canada. Thank you. I did go to school in Angers. And I was Angers in France, in Quebec City, Basseville. Okay. But anyway, I welcome our international viewers to A Slice of Life. What I want for you to do is to, think about when you get up in the morning, it's a blessing. That's number one. Number two, I talked to you about all that stuff you got. What are you doing with it? I'll tell you what, I don't know about a yard sale and take the money and give it to somebody if you don't want to give the viewers. But you could do a yard sale and say all donations will go to XYZ. But I'm not sure what the ruling is on some places. You can't collect money like that to give money unless you check with your state. So maybe there's some laws. They got new laws now because people have done so many bad things. But whatever it is you need to do, maybe the church can have a yard sale within the church, and all that money will go to the youth choir or to the youth program. And plus, that's a good idea, because not only will people get some great items from each other, especially if you, like I've been watching those earrings you've been wearing all week. I need those earrings. Okay. So you'd get some great items, and the youth will get money. I did a program. It didn't last long, but I got a drink machine, and the money from the drink machine will go to the youth, because the youth need money. They need money for programs for themselves. They want to travel and go to different churches and go to different conferences. Then, they need funds for that, and we have to help them. And what about the whole health system? Do we have some nurses out there that can do some free clinics? I don't know. Start a free clinic for your neighborhood, your township. Is that something you can do? I think you have to have a 501c3 for that, though. I'm not sure. But there's some rules and regulations. But I'm just saying, all you smart, intelligent, super powered, super aging people, you got all that knowledge. What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? You got to do something with it. And so, I've given you page 67 and everything that came with this in that area, where I've talked to you about the blue zone and how those people came to live 100 years. What was the main denomination for the main denominator for the people who super aging? And I gave you some main denominators, and so that you can look at that and think about what part of that list you would like to follow. Maybe all of it. I don't know that I can do all of it, but I think it's a pretty good, the 80% eating. I got to check on that. The plant-based, I might have to check on that. Remember the downshift, I don't have to check on that. What else? Moving naturally, I might have to check on that. Focus on family. I mean, there's a list here. They help you to age without getting old. We're getting older, but we're not getting old. We got things to do, people to see, and places to go. And we also have glasses to buy. So, my darlings, it's the weekend. Georgianne doesn't work on the weekend, except Georgianne has to work this weekend because school is out at Clark Atlanta University. I love my students. I love where I work. I love being an adjunct there. I teach humanities. They didn't need a French teacher, so Georgianne's forgot her French. I don't know how I spoke 5 languages and can barely get one out of my mouth now. I don't know, but I know it's there. It's what I tell you, everything here controls everything here. And so I said all that to say my time is up. I want you to have a great weekend. I want you to remember to super age in prayer, super age with faith, super age knowing that there's more for you to do. God has a plan for you. What are you doing with it? I love you, and you can't do anything about it.